All right, welcome back to the Find Your 20 Coaching Insight Show. I'm your host, Mark Siebercrop, and if you're a six-figure business owner who's looking to unlock the hidden potential in your business, then you've come to the right place, because this is the show where I share the top insights from recent coaching sessions that I've had with my clients, as well as what I'm learning in my own businesses to help you throw out the 80% that's holding you back, so that you can build a business that fits you and your strengths and supports your personal dreams and goals. But before we get started today, I want to share with you today's featured resource, which is Audible. I have to tell you, Audible has become my number one way of consuming books and learning and developing and growing personally and in my business. I was just looking back at my stats, and I average about 20 hours of Audible listening every single month. It allows me to learn more about business, about marketing, about sales. Things that I've shared with you on this podcast have came from books that I listen to on Audible. It's also a great way to just relax and listen to fiction books. And I use it for that as well. And I highly, highly recommend it. If you are not using Audible, you're missing out on amazing opportunities to learn and grow and develop as you're working out, as you're doing errands, as you're traveling, as you're taking a shower. All of these different times are times that you could be learning and growing and developing and becoming a better business owner, a better person, a better spouse, a better parent, whatever it is that you want to listen to. I highly, highly recommend it. A few years back, I worked with Ziglar Inc. and helped run some affiliate launches for them and do some promotions with them. And Zig Ziglar used to always talk about Automobile University. And he talked about having all these tapes and then CDs in your car that you could listen to so you could learn as you were traveling. And now, honestly, it's as simple as just having your phone. And you can have all of the things that you'd ever want to listen to right there on your phone through Audible. And here's the great thing. If you go to findyour20.com/audible trial, all one word, Audible trial, you can get a free, I believe it's 3 months right now. I think it's typically 1 month, but I checked before I started recording, and you can get a 3-month trial right now. And you can also get one free title to listen to. Or if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get 2 free titles. And you can get a free version of my book, Find Your 20, on Audible when you get that free trial. So again, if you're not using Audible, I highly recommend it. Just go to findyour20.com/audible trial to begin your trial today. And you can see all of my recommended resources, including Audible, on my recommended resources page at findyour20.com/my best resources. And with that, let's jump in. I've got 3 tips for you today that I want to share from various conversations I had with clients over the past week. The first one is, this is interesting because this is something that I've actually told 2 separate people to do at 2 different times, like a year apart, and it's had the same result. And that is, a lot of times, one of the things that I work with people on when they come to the Find Your 20 retreat, or they read the book, or we're working coaching wise, is defining what your ideal day is. If you could do exactly what you wanted to do, what would your ideal day be like? And the interesting thing is, more than once, I've had people come back and say, well, I'd really like to do this, but I can't, or someday I'll be able to, or hopefully in the future. And when they share what it is, I typically will say, well, why can't you start doing that now? And then they'll stop and be like, well, I guess I could. I don't see why I couldn't. A lot of times it's things that they could be doing now. Working with business owners who have control of their schedule for the most part, but they feel like they have to be working every single minute. And so they won't allow themselves to do some of the things that they need to do in order to increase their energy, to increase their motivation, to increase their just their peace of mind. And all of those things contribute to our ability to work at a high level. So I was talking to a client last week, this exact same conversation. They said, well, ideally, I would take a walk every single morning. I'd just go for a walk for a little bit. And in their mind, they couldn't do that because they needed to get right to work and they needed to do things. And once things are going better in my business, once I have more clients, once I'm generating more revenue, then I can take a walk. And I just said, why don't you take a, what's stopping you? Why can't you take a walk? And they're like, I guess you're right. I don't see why I couldn't. And I shared with them another story of another client where we had that same conversation. But for that client, it was riding her horse. She wanted to be able to ride her horse every morning. I said, go ride your horse. Like, go spend an hour and ride your horse. Because what I found is that when we deny ourselves the ability to do the things that give us energy, that give us life, that give us a happiness, it impacts our work. And I told both of these clients, I said, my hypothesis is if you will do these things, that you will actually get more work done, you will be more excited to work, and you will have more energy to do that work because you did the thing that you wanted to do first thing in the morning, that gives you life, that gives you energy, that makes you feel better. And both times, that's exactly what happened. So, my encouragement to you is to ask yourself first off, what is your ideal day? If you could do exactly what you wanted to do, if you could start the day exactly how you wanted, how would you start it? What would your day look like? And then, are there parts of that day that you can implement right now? And if you feel like you can't, a lot of times it just comes down to we feel like we have to be working, we have to be at our desk 8 to 5, or we feel like we have to be, if we have things that need to be done, we can't take any time to do anything else until those things are done. And really, after that, it comes down to we just need somebody to give us permission. And I know that sounds so weird. It seems so weird that as adults, we need permission, but I found it to be the case when we're doing something that's outside of the normal, outside of the norm, we feel like we need permission to do it. And so if that is you, let me do that for you. I give you permission. Whatever that thing is that is part of your ideal day, I give you permission to do it. Now, here's the caveat. I'm not saying you can spend all day long and not do any work. Obviously, that doesn't work. But if it's taking an hour to ride your horse or an hour to work out or go for a walk or to scrapbook or to play with your kids or to walk your kids to school or whatever it is, your day can survive with an hour less or 30 minutes less. Now, of course, there are times where things have to get done and you need every minute, but that is not the normal. And if it is, you need to change the way you work. Almost all the time, there is an hour of wasted time in our day that if we took it doing something that was valuable to us, that gave us energy, that gave us life, that helped us to be more creative, we can make that hour up and being more effective and having more energy and being more creative. We can make that time up. It comes back to Parkinson's law, which I've talked about before, which is work expands to the amount of time given to do it. So if you typically work 8 hours and you say, well, if I'm going to go for a walk or I'm going to go to the gym or I'm going to go ride my horse or I'm going to walk my kids to school, and now I'm only going to have 7 hours to do my work, here's what happens. You'll still probably get the same amount of stuff done in those 7 hours. Because what happens is you have less time, which means you're more focused and you get more done more efficiently and more effectively. So, whatever it is that is a part of your ideal day that you really want to do, but you've just said, I can't do it yet. I'm not there. Maybe when I do this, do it now. Plan a way to get it implemented into your day because the benefits of energy, of creativity, of peace of mind, of less stress will greatly overshadow any downside to taking that time of doing it. So make sure you do that today. Number two, value is related to results and transformation and not to length. The value that you are giving someone is related to the results that they get or the transformation they achieve, not to how big or how long or how many pages your product, service, book, course, whatever is. A lot of times we equate longer, bigger, more stuff with more money and more value. But that's not the case. I was having a conversation with a client this past week, and we were talking about, well, how should I price this program? Because it's only 4 videos or it's only 6 videos. I can't remember what it was, but it's not very long. It's not a lot of content, so maybe I can only charge 47 or 67 or something. And I said, we need to decouple, we need to take apart the value and the length or the amount of content you get. We need to take those things apart because they're not related. And I gave examples of programs that I've purchased that really literally were less than 5 hours of information. And I paid $297, $497, even $1,000 for at various times. And it's because of the transformation. It's because of the value that I got, because of the results that I was able to get, because of the transformation that came into my life, my business, because of it. People don't care how long your program is. And it's a very lazy way to present value by just presenting how much they get. Now, that's a value sometimes, certainly, and you should mention it, but you shouldn't hang your hat on this costs more because it's longer. This costs more because it's more pages. This costs more because there's more videos or more modules, because that only matters if it gets them results. A friend of mine, Paul Keach, he's an amazing coach, and if he hears this and he hears me say those nice things about him, he'll think that I'm like sick or something, because we always joke around back and forth. But he's a great coach. And I heard him say one time, he said, "If I can get you a result, if you pay me $5,000 and I can get you a result that you desperately want this result. And if I can get it for you in a month or I can get it for you in 3 months, which would you prefer? Which is more valuable to you?" Obviously, it's the one that you can get the result in the month, because there's an opportunity cost. There's a cost to waiting those 2 extra months. So in our minds, we think, oh, 3 months is more valuable. But if you can get the results in less time, that's more valuable. I mean, think about weight loss programs and diet programs and pills and supplements. Like, they're all talking about how quickly you can get the result. And if you can get the result more quickly, a lot of times they charge you more. And so we need to take our idea that we can't charge a higher price for a short program, like a mini course, if you want to call it that, and we need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of that idea. Because if you can get a result that is valuable for your client in less time, it's more valuable to them, because the results are there and the transformation are there. So make sure that your value that you're presenting is tied to the results and the transformation they're going to get, and not the length of the program. All right, tip number 3. This is something that I've heard Dan Kennedy say many, many times. And I really, really love this idea. And I've actually started telling my clients to do the same thing. And it's the idea, Dan Kennedy says that he makes sure, and he credits a lot of his success to this, that every single day he is determined to do one thing that will generate future business. He's going to do one thing that generates future business. That could be reaching out to a past client. That could be asking for a referral. That could be sending a note in the mail to somebody that's a potential client. It could be sending an article that he read to a potential client or a current client. It could be booking a speaking engagement. But whatever it is, like having the mindset of every single day doing one thing, just one. Now, you might do more, but having a goal of at least one thing that will generate future business. And by doing this, you make sure that you get out of, and this is me talking, not what Dan says necessarily, but you get out of that I guess back and forth of, with a lot of businesses, what happens is you spend a whole bunch of time generating leads and sales, and you get all of these clients, and then you spend all of your time fulfilling that thing that you sold them, and you stop marketing for new people. And then you keep fulfilling and you keep fulfilling, and you finally finish it, and all of a sudden this pool of potential clients is empty. And there's nobody there. There's nobody moving in. And so now you don't have any money, and you're over here saying, oh no, I have to be able to get clients. I have to get clients. And you spend all of your time marketing and you do everything to get clients. And then you get into fulfillment again and you stop marketing. And if you will get in the habit of doing one thing every single day to generate future business, you can slowly and consistently keep this moving, keep your marketing moving, so that you're always moving people through the process from being a potential client, a prospect, to being a client. And that, just the process of continually doing it, it's the, by small and simple means, it's that idea of just consistent effort makes a difference. But here's the other thing, it changes your mindset. It changes your mindset because you're always thinking about marketing yourself. You're always thinking about marketing your business, your services, your products. And when you're always thinking about that, the money is made in the marketing. It's one of the things I love that Russell Brunson says. He says it's not the thing that makes a business. It's the selling of the thing. It's the marketing of the thing. Robert Kiyosaki says this by saying, my book doesn't say that I'm a best writing author. It says I'm a best selling author. The marketing of your business is where the success comes from. And so if we're doing that every single day, we're doing a little bit of marketing, we're doing one thing that can generate future business, you'll keep yourself in that mindset and you'll always have people trickling through, and you'll change that mindset, and you'll always be thinking about generating leads, turning prospects into clients, and then fulfilling. And so you have a cycle that works, rather than focusing on one part of it until it's done and then focusing on the other part because you really need to and you have to make money, and then focusing on the first part again. That can be stressful. So my encouragement to you is to do one thing every single day that generates future business. Like I said, could be asking for a referral, could be reaching out to a client, could be reaching out to a past client, could be I would be hesitant to say posting on social media unless it's something you do every once in a while as that one thing. Like, don't make that your one thing every single day. That won't work. But if it's every once in a while, I'm going to post something, promoting a free resource I have or promoting one of my products. It could be booking a speaking engagement, a podcast, a physical stage. It could be, reaching out to client or potential clients that are in the follow-up process, whatever it is, finding one thing to do every single day to generate future business. And if you'll do that, you'll change your mindset and you'll change the flow of clients that are consistently coming into your business. So with that, I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. If you haven't yet, make sure you grab a copy of my book, Find Your 20, by going to findyour20.com/grab your copy. And I'll drop one in the mail to you ASAP. Just pay the shipping and handling, and the shipping and handling will be less than what you would pay for the book on Amazon. I'll take care of the book. I'll get it sent out to you. Just go to findyour20.com/grab your copy. And like I said at the beginning, if you want a free Audible version of the book, you can go to findyour20.com/Audible trial. If you don't have an Audible account already, and you can get a copy of my book, Find Your 20, on Audible for free when you start your Audible trial. Now, if you already have Audible, obviously that won't work for you. But if you don't have Audible yet, you can get a free audio copy on Audible by going to findyour20.com/Audible trial. And as always, if you would, please leave a rating and review for the podcast on your preferred podcast listening app. It helps others to find the show as well. And until next time, get out there and chase your 20.